Welcome to the Monday, May the 19th, 2025 meeting of the Montpelier Design Review Committee. We'll let members and staff introduce themselves.
Rebecca?
Meredith Crandall, staff.
Stephen Everett, member.
Martha Smirsky.
Liz Pritchett, member.
Okay. At this point, unless anybody has anything to add, we'll let Meredith review the remote meeting procedures and process.
Okay, so Katie, I think you've seen this a few times, but I got to go through it. All righty. So this is mostly for anyone viewing tonight's meeting via ORCA Media. But there's information here for anybody who might be on remotely. So for those viewing tonight's Design Review Committee meeting via ORCA Media, you can participate in the Design Review Committee discussion via the Zoom platform through either video or telephone access options. To have the full video experience, please type this link into your web browser. Alternatively, you can dial in from any telephone using this phone number, and when prompted, put in this meeting ID. And then if you use either of those options, I'll get a prompt that someone wants to get into the meeting and I'll be able to let you in. If anyone is trying to access the meeting and having problems, please email me at mcrandall@montpelier-vt.org. For those attending via Zoom, turning your video on is optional. For everyone attending, please keep your microphone on mute when you're not speaking. This will help reduce background noise. And if you wish to speak on an item that is not your agenda item, please raise your hand and wait until the chair has called on you to speak. Everyone on tonight so far and in attendance tonight is either an applicant or property owner. And so you'll be able to talk during your applications. Please note that the Zoom chat function should only be used for troubleshooting or logistics questions. And otherwise keep questions or comments about items on the agenda verbal. In the event the public is unable to access this meeting, it will be continued to a time and place certain. I will now hand the meeting back over to the chair.
Does anyone has anything to add at this point? Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. This is Martha.
Rebecca will second.
All in favor of the agenda, speak your names.
Martha.
Rebecca?
Stephen?
Liz.
Okay, the agenda is approved. We can move to the first application for 29 Northfield Street. Sandy, you want to come explain your steps?
Feel free to pull the microphone a little closer to yourself. I haven't adjusted that one.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Liz, can you hear okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Liz.
Great. Brian approached me for some help making his house more accessible with the goal of staying in the house. On Northfield Street, the houses have a very steep slope down to the road. So the idea is to install a granite walkway using standard granite steps and then a pipe railing on both sides of the ascent, one side after you get on the flat area. And yep, those are the drawings of it. And I included a little site plan. And then if you scroll down a tiny bit, that's an example of the steps and the pipe railing. So it's pretty simple. He would like to do this summer.
Sandy, I saw in your email exchange with Meredith that you guys used a phrase, the run. What is the run? I'm not familiar with that.
Sure. When you're talking about stairs, there's a slope, and the run is the width or the depth of the tread.
Oh, okay.
Front to back. And the rise is the height of the riser.
Okay.
So rise and run, if you do like trig, you get the slope.
Okay.
And these are standard rise and run.
Okay. This says 110 feet is the run, or 110 inches. that right?
Sounds right.
And that's pretty standard.
110 inches for the overall that would make sense. So the individual rise and run, yes, is standard.
Quick aside question, do you find your steps locally? The granite steps?
Yeah, so they're from Swenson Granite and Berry, and they quarry from Woodbury. So
So it's local granite?
it is.
Good.
And are you thinking of cutting the curb here?
No, intentionally not touching the curb whatsoever.
Okay, so you're coming in from the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, I think it'll look nice with the concrete that's already, granite
Yeah.
that's already there.
Thank you.
I agree. I think it'll be a nice enhancement for the house.
Thanks.
Any other comments or questions or suggestions? Otherwise, I can read through the criteria, which you've seen many, many times. Exterior design and materials of new construction or alterations of existing buildings shall be consistent and compatible with the characteristics of the existing building or other properties in the district. The removal of historic materials, that doesn't apply here. The only thing you're removing is some soil for the steps, acceptable. Existing buildings shall be recognized as a physical record of their time, place, and use. Any new development shall be differentiated from the old, but shall respect and be compatible with the massing, size, scale, architectural features, detailing, and overall character of the primary historic building and nearby historic properties. Acceptable. Landscaping, screening, and site furnishings. Projects within the design review overlay district and subject to the landscaping requirement shall consider the following: site furnishings, including fencing, seating, and other types of site furniture visible from the street or side yards, and existing historic and contributing resources such as street trees, fences, gates, walls, steps, gazebos, walkways, front and side yard patterns shall be retained or restored when impacted by the alteration of a building. That's acceptable. And lastly, porches and stairs on historic structures. The location of porches, ramps, and stairs shall be placed in a manner that does not impact or undermine the original and significant ornamentation or detailing of the existing building. Stairs, ramps, and porches shall employ suitable detailing to connect and be compatible with the historic and important design features of existing buildings and new construction. Stairs and ramps shall be designed in a manner with details and materials that provide the most sensitive and compatible structure and that fits the building design and layout. Acceptable. All in favor of the application, speak your names.
Rebecca,
Martha, I say yes.
Yes.
And Steve is yes, so it is approved 4-0.
Thank
So we should be able to get this permit issued tomorrow.
Okay.
So do you want us to email when it's ready so somebody can just come pick it up, or do you want us to mail it?
I'm about to go out of town. Do you want to have it mailed to your house, Brian?
Okay, perfect.
On Northfield Street.
And would one of you like to come sign the
Think you
right
see
below
that?
my name? Thank you. Okay, thanks.
This will be a lot better to walk down than the driveway when it's slick. Yeah.
This is very.
Yeah, this will be good.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Street house.
Yes. You keep your skates on. And we can move forward to the next application for 39 College Street. the condominium association applicant Greenway Institute for a new wall sign.
I don't know, Katie, if you or Troy, if you want to talk, you can come up to the chair and go to the microphone. I will get to a place where the pictures are to share. So I've just pulled up the proposal, basically, the mock-up of the proposal.
Great. I'm Troy McBride of Greenway Institute, up at the Vermont College campus. And we're looking into an expansion of the patio and front entrance, the 39 College Street here. That expansion includes expanding the patio somewhat, changing or putting on top of the concrete in addition, bluestone, and then building a short sitting wall at the front, a stone sitting wall at the front. Part of the project is a sign for Greenway Institute. It was originally part of the stone wall, but in speaking with the Vermont Historic Preservation, they preferred a sign on the facade. And we agreed to black lettering on the white facade there as shown. It's in same font as the Noble Hall that's written on above the doorway there. And then the patio upgrade was previously approved in October 2023. So we're here today for the sign particularly. Katie Gustafson is also on the call. She is probably familiar to many of you, and she's helping out with this project and this permit.
Steve, can I just give a little sort of administrative note?
Sure.
So when this came before design review committee and got approved with the wall and the pathway changes and everything, it was different in that it was a continuous wall and the paths were split and could go around either side. And then the state historic was like, oh, no, we want to preserve this direct line to the door.
Mhm.
And because that's sort of more of a stepping backwards and not doing something that the design review committee approved, right? It's still we're still going to have this path in the exact same place. They just now are cutting a hole through the wall that you guys approved.
Okay.
I took that as it's not making a significant change to what you'd already approved.
Yes.
And so that aspect of it, I took as an amendment to an administrative amendment to the prior approval, but they needed to come to you for the sign.
Okay.
So because the wall here is still going to be built like the other wall was, the same style for building. It's just that now the path goes straight through. And you don't necessarily have like all the lighting you had to approve as much. There might be some on the backside, but you won't need, there had been discussion about having some like path lighting so that people would know they had to go around the edges before and around the sides. But the new patio surface inside is still the same. I think you had an upgrade for like an ADA panel for the door, maybe under the other updates to the entryway. I'm trying to remember because there's been so many different buildings that have had updates. I can't remember them all.
There
But
was
the
a
other,
ramp up to the
yeah, the
door.
ramp.
There's currently it's the
yeah,
pavement. And we're moving that.
yeah. So
putting
they're
it-
still going to have the ramp.
Yeah.
Things like that are still changing. Those things are still all happening that you guys approved previously. But instead of having a continuous wall and putting a sign
Mhm.
down there, which had been pre-approved by you all, they're now putting on the building. So I needed to send it back to you.
Could you refresh me? What is this building used for?
So this is Greenway Institute. We're a new educational program. So it's a combination dormitory and classroom space.
Okay.
I saw on the paragraph here for lighting the sign, they'll wait to get final approval when the 3145 College Street condo files their joint application for campus signage. Greenway requests approval for options from the design review committee, and then we'll include a formal request in a later application. I'm not sure if you want options in based where the sign is and the lighting options. Probably the least obtrusive would be there's a strip that you can get that would cover the width of the sign, and it's very narrow, and it's an LED wall wash.
Yeah.
So it would light the sign without lighting too much else other than the sign. And that is small enough and narrow enough, it would fit right up underneath that dental molding above the sign.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, I think that's what we had been considering as some sort of LED strip, and the one you described makes.
And again,
Makes a lot of
if
sense.
it was a white color, it would just disappear up in that cove underneath the dental molding, but yet it would protrude out far enough. And again, it would just wash the face of the sign, so it would be visible. It doesn't have to be super bright.
Exactly.
And do you want to wait and add that in a later application, or give them the option to do that with this application?
So because with exterior lighting, I have to evaluate the lumens emitted for the entire parcel. I think the goal here is to get guidance so they have a sense of what they're going to do, so that then it can be worked into one application. So we're just evaluating the lighting changes for the whole parcel for the condo association. That's my understanding of what you were looking for. Is that right, Troy?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Anything you can approve now is
Yeah, I mean,
we're
even if
grateful
it's just
for.
even if it's just that design review committee gives them the option to do that at a later date. If they change what they're doing, then they'd have to come back to you. But if it was that type of lighting, as long as it met my zoning requirements, then that particular light wouldn't need your approval. But I mean, I think you're gonna see more stuff for this parcel for the whole condo association as a
Okay,
whole.
I mean,
So either
we
way,
would just
yeah,
give them the option now, or just
yeah.
a suggestion, if the entire sign is 18 feet long, you could get 2 8-foot strips of the LED, each one of which would be probably less than 600 lumens.
Yeah.
Again,
So
it doesn't take much because of its close proximity to the sign. It
Right.
wouldn't take much to light it so that you could see it from actually quite a distance.
yeah. So yeah, if that's a way to go. We were just it was just
Up there painting already. Sense to do it too.
yeah, there's another layer of site plan approval that I have to do for the lights that we were trying to hold off on for the fees and everything, and doing that analysis. But
Where's the
whichever, you can give them
existing
the option.
wiring located in relation to the sign proposed?
There is some wiring up there that lights a light that's under, you see where the sign is underneath the, well, yeah, underneath the patio there. That
Oh, under
Yeah.
here.
there's a light up there.
So maybe run up and through.
Yeah.
So there's nothing coming out here.
There's an antenna up there as well. It must be powered. We don't use it, but there is power up there.
If there's power underneath, then they could do either a surface mount or come through that front. It wouldn't take much to come through the front fascia.
Yeah.
Into a strip across, single strip or 2 shorter ones.
Yeah.
2 8s would give you 16, which would give you the mount covered.
Oh.
I mean, to cover the whole sign, the sign's 18.
Yeah, I think that makes a
No,
lot of
it's
sense.
just- It's flat there until you get farther back.
Do you want to write that as the preliminary suggestion, or we can
You
just,
can give them as an option, and then that way, like, if for some reason everything out, the bigger plan gets delayed, Greenway can just come back to me for a quick administrative site plan of that lighting. And we can do something quick. Because, working by committee is never a quick process. Not with those kinds of decisions. The design review committee is quick, but other organizations.
Could I just understand, excuse me, the condominium situation of the buildings up on the green there now?
Can you give me a minute, Liz, and I can pull stuff up on a map? Because I think that'll be the easiest way for people to be able to talk about it so you can see it at the same time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if
I can talk to it.
Katie or Troy
I
wanted to
can-
talk about it. Give me 1 second and I will have this on the share screen. All right, so what I've done, I don't know if you can see it, Liz. I've selected this parcel here that has the pale blue outline.
Yes, I see that. Mhm.
So that's one parcel that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings on it.
Correct.
ahead, Troy.
And then there's a seventh building that's part of the condo there.
Yep,
On its
this
own
one, which is a
parcel.
separate parcel here.
And then that parcel, also the big blue parcel you have there has
Yep.
been divided
Yep, so
in
their
half. So it's,
buildings have different, well, yes, there's a parcel back here.
yeah, so that's, the lower part is not part of the condo association. just
Okay.
clear.
Yeah, that's just not reflected in this map yet. So there's a property line here through the middle. So this chunk with these buildings and this building are all part of the condo association.
And it's called the 31 to 45
Yep.
Condo Association. So that name helps. And so the condo association is New School, which is the first two buildings coming from the north, Alumni and Bishop, 41 and 45. And then it's Greenway Institute is 39 and 37. And then Montpelier Performing Arts Hub is, where are we at, 35?
Mm-hmm.
And then Martin House is VTPT, that's 33. And then 31 is Ice Cube LLC.
Yeah, so Casey Anthony's project here.
And
Okay.
together, that's the condo association, and what will come in the future is sort of a ground design plan for directionality and getting to helping people navigate where they're going. So we're working with Catamount Consulting, and Katie is coordinating this for a sign plan as well. They're looking to change the one-way direction there.
Yep. Yeah, they're looking to now that the buildings all have owners and understanding of what those uses will be, there's basically going to be a fresh look at signage for how to access all these buildings and potential traffic flow. And along with the signage will come updates to lighting. And because lighting is one of those things that we evaluate per parcel under the current zoning, it kind of makes sense to try and reevaluate all of that for everybody at once as much as possible. Now that they know what's going on in these buildings. I mean, some of them have gotten approvals for additions or updates that incorporated some lighting changes. But to be able to evaluate, you know, how you're going to change the building signs as well as putting in a ground mounted sign and how you're going to light all those. If they can do it as a coordinated way, it's fewer permits, fewer fees, and easier coordination for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. That helps.
What I did was under the options, just the suggestion was the optional lighting for the sign could be an LED, then wall wash strip light fixture in a white color mounted above the sign lettering and below the dental molding, which would not cover any of the architectural features of the building. Great. And does anybody have any other questions, comments, suggestions? I can read through the criteria. Sign in the design control district. The size, location, design, color, texture, lighting, and material of all exterior signs within the design review district shall be compatible with the building and structures of the site and surrounding properties acceptable. Where appropriate, signing shall respect the original sign placement and sign bans on historic structures acceptable. If a building has multiple tenants, there shall be consistency in placement and size. In this location, the sign is acceptable. It is recommended that sign placement be centered over building entries. It is. Sign installation shall minimize damage to character defining materials on the building acceptable. In masonry buildings, fasteners shall be in mortar joints. It doesn't look like it applies here, so that's acceptable. Sign design, color, and typography shall respect historic precedents where appropriate and shall be the appropriate scale for existing and new buildings acceptable. Sign support structures shall be compatible with the building architecture and must not be overly complex or dominant in and of themselves acceptable. Lighting fixtures for signs on facades of historic buildings shall not conflict with or damage the building's architectural integrity or cover or impact character defining architectural details acceptable based on, again, an optional strip light that washes the sign. Lighting fixtures for signs mounted on all building facades shall be designed with appropriate housing, shielding, and photometrics to ensure that there is appropriate lighting level and illumination that focuses on the sign panels exclusively. Again, based on the optional sign at this point, that's acceptable. All in favor of the application, speak your names.
Rebecca?
This is Martha. I say yes.
Liz, yes.
And Steve says yes, so it's approved 4-0. And I'll have
Thank
you come up and sign below my name there. Thank you. Great. Good luck with your project.
So sign permit, easy. I can do that tomorrow. If you get to the point where you're like, I really want to get the lighting up, that's the administrative site plan review. So if things are dragging out with the whole big condo association plan, come back to me and we'll do the little added fee to get the administrative site plan review under the lighting and get that up for you. But all right. Yeah, you're welcome. Do you want an email when the permit's ready for the sign? Or you can just come pick it up?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Bye, thank you.
Is
Come out over the, bring the electrical over instead of going out.
Mm.
Is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know if it was
there is a
covered
little
over-
roof there. I don't know if you want to put any holes in there, though. I think if there's already electrical underneath there, they'll figure it out. They're doing renovations to so many of the buildings up there.
it would do very minimal damage to actually drill right through with a piece of conduit with a connection to the back of the strip lighting.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't see it and it's tucked underneath, so it's protected from the weather.
Mhm.
And you're not gonna try to wrap it around somehow, which would be more noticeable.
Mhm.
And again, conduit through a 1-inch hole is pretty minimal
Yeah.
and easily patched in the future if ever it was needed.
They'll be able to, especially because there is already lighting up there in that
Got it.
funky deck, whatever. I don't know what you want to
Just
call
think
that.
the only other way to light it would be to like 2 goosenecks from the side,
Yeah,
which
I
would
was
be
thinking that too.
much,
and it's gonna be-
much uglier.
Yeah,
And it's too high up and too obstructed to have a ground lighting that shines on
and we don't allow those.
it. Yeah,
You can't have
Yep.
upward lighting for lights.
Yep.
And anything fancy backlit would be so expensive and hard to maintain. So, no, I think that's a great solution. And the lumens from those are so tiny. That won't be
You-
an issue. And the parcel
could-
is so big.
you can light that whole sign with the equivalent of a 60-watt LED
Yeah.
bulb.
Yeah, I think that
And
they're gonna
over
be,
18 feet, that's pretty minimal.
if they can upgrade like exterior lighting on a lot of these buildings, I think they'll find that they're really happy with what happens to the power bills.
Yes,
So, okay.
okay, good. Has everyone had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from April the 21st?
Yeah, I have, I can't remember from what 68 Main Street was all about. Talks about being the sign and it's gonna be at the same level as the Charlie O's sign, but I don't remember what building we were talking about.
So that is, that was,
Yeah.
hold on.
I can't really tell from this.
Yep. So it's where a while ago Splash used to be, I think. And then before that, or since then, it's where Notion was, the
Okay.
craft store.
So,
And so it's it's the same building as Julio's. Or not Julio's, Charlie O's.
yeah,
It's just the space adjacent to the vacant parcel that Charlie has just been using as an outdoor seating place.
I know
Does that
now,
help?
yes, it's
Okay.
a cannabis place right now.
Yes, the cannabis. Yeah, John
Okay.
Benjamin's, the latest
The latest.
cannabis store.
I'm just thinking it would help if we knew that from, I can't tell that from here,
Sorry.
but other than that,
Okay.
I think that these are fine.
Okay.
My own preference would be that it give us a little bit more information about where it is and what's.
About the new occupant.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
what
I
they're
can.
talking about.
Application for a
Just a
long sign
description of
in
Who the
the-
occupant is.
yeah, in the, well, it's
Or-
also in
or
the
what it is.
storefront. The applicant. I can say review new wall sign for cannabis store.
Mhm.
And then the application is for an 18-inch by 148 for 18-inch high by 144-inch long sign in the store over the storefront to the south of Charlie O's.
I'm gonna say thank you because I remember us talking about what, I was like, I remember this one. I don't remember the other one. I was like, I was there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either, the cannabis store. I don't know why.
It must have been really not.
Well,
Well, he
because
wasn't here.
the applicant wasn't there. And so
Uh-huh.
you just there, you didn't have a lot of back and forth. You just flipped through the application and were like, yeah, it looks fine, and moved on. So I think that it just didn't stick in your heads very much.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. So if do you guys need me to reread my changes?
No.
Okay.
No,
I think we're good.
That would be helpful though.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just to
Thank you.
help identify.
Got it.
Well, with that added, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. This is Martha.
Rebecca will second.
All in favor of the minutes, speak your names.
Martha,
Rebecca?
Stephen,
Yes,
minutes are approved. Does anyone have anything else? to add?
No.
If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion
To adjourn. It's Martha.
Rebecca will second.
All in favor, speak your names.
Rebecca?
Martha?
Stephen?
Liz?
Thank
Meeting is
you.
adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of.
Have a great night, Liz.